Hello everyone and welcome back to these release highlight videos. Today we'll be viewing the 19.1 and 2 novelties in e-commerce and websites. So let's start our agenda with the design improvements we've made, and then we'll see the excited news for the variants. We'll go over the microdata we have added lastly, to go on for the forms and the new features. For the fifth step, we'll go on to the payment restriction about the price list and the amounts for the checkouts. For the sixth step, we'll go over the standalone categories and its impact about the SEO, sure. To finish with few other improvements. So let's start and let's see the design improvements we have made so far. First off, let's see the editable portal cards. Let me go on my portal view here. And as I am the manager of the database, I can now edit. You will see that I can now edit the layout of these sections. I can choose the colors based on the palettes I have made onto my theme, and I can change it if I want. I can also change the name of the section, so if the connection and security name isn't clear enough for my visitors, I can rename it as, let's say, passwords and connection, maybe, whatever. This will help you differentiate your website from another and make a clear view for your users. Now, the Pay Now button. The Pay Now button has been a huge topic for the last years. You were not able to change the name of the Pay Now button. Now, it has been changed. You can now translate it. So let me add a product into my cart. Go to checkout right away. Yes, confirm. And from there, I can now just edit and change the name of this button with Let's Pay or whatever. So this is really important. It has been asked for years, as I said. Why? Because in some use cases, you might not want your visitor to pay right away, but just check out. If you are B2B, for instance, you would have the flow of your visitors to add products into their carts and ask question about it or ask for a quotation about it, but they would not pay right on. So you can now just rename this button and say checkout or just RFQ as in request for quotation or whatever fits your needs. Let me just discard in that case. We now have shadow controller, so let's go on to the design and the web builder here. Let me go back to my home, open the editor, and if I scroll down, let's say this, I want it to be shadowed. I can click on the column section and look for one shadow settings that I want. So if I enter, I can now see that it is shadowed. And of course, I have several settings that I can choose, the normal, the small, and the large. And obviously, I can click on this button, go to the theme tab right away, and choose my own templates, presets for the normal, the small, and the large shadow. That gives me the next headline, which is the new way we are displaying the builder. It is now clear for you to browse and to update your design because of the blocks here. So here I was designing the picture, so I'm right away on the image section of it. But if I want to change the whole block, I can click on the block here and go back to the change of, let's say, the background or whatever. So based on where you are clicking, you will right away be on the right section. That's clear. It helps you, it prevents you from scrolling down a lot to find the right setting. So yeah, let me just save on this one and see the next improvements. So we have a clear layout. Last but not least, on 19.2, we have changed the way the product form is visible. So let me enter in one. You now have a specific tab for all the e-commerce related information, which is clearer for you and for the person who's handling your websites. Let's now see the variant news. several news. The major one is that you can now import your variants. Previously, you had to import the product template for those of you who are a bit more technical. And the fact is you were forced to assign all the specific values of attributes into the same line of Excel imports. You now can change the way you worked and directly import the file that your supplier gave you in that matter. So let me go into the product menu, and I can now import records, choose the right one. And you can see here there is a brand new field that is the import attribute value. And let me show you how this this Excel file works. Maybe I can zoom a bit. Can I? It's going to be difficult. Maybe, yeah, there it is. So as you can see, I have several product templates, so the main products, such as Canyon Bike Service, the Grizzle, and then I have the Spectral. The Spectral is only one template, but it has many attribute values, so it has here 7 variants. Previously, I had to have one line and specify all the variants in one specific cell, which was a nightmare to change your supplier Excel files into the one that are actually used to import data into Odoo. So you can now just clean a bit your suppliers, but keep the same structure. And we will be importing them together. So let me load. Here it was already loaded. I have an image button. It's always good to have reminders here. I have an image button, so I now can have the possibility to get. Let me get into my desktop. Yeah, to enter a specific. This one specific folder and open it. And the file contained on it will be directly linked to my specific variants. So let's test. Everything seems valid, and I import. And there is the 4 new records that I've created. This is another novelty of the 19 version, maybe the 0.102. Don't remember, doesn't matter. The fact is that before going back to all the products, you now see the ones that you have imported for a matter of testing, making sure that everything is all right. And if not, you can just delete it and do it again without the mistake. But let's see this Canyon Spectral. It hasn't been created 7 times, okay, only one product template. So Odoo recognized that it was already created at the time. It did not create another one. And I can see 7 variants, which is great because normally if I had 4 values on the first line and 2 values on the second, it would have make the multiplication. I would have had 8 variants, although one of them doesn't exist. I can't remember the one, but we'll see over here. And previously, I would have to exclude one of each other, and now it's already done. So I have 7 of them, only the ones that I've created, and yeah, I was able to import them. So that's pretty exciting. Another news about variants is now that you have a price type field directly on the variants. So if I enter one here, let's say my product, as it says, is 22, but let's change this one because it's not true. Let's say it's 3,500, but for some reason, the price of the Excel one is more. I can now change this very field by 4,000, for instance. Previously, this field was the one related to product templates, so I could not specify a specific value for a specific variant, only for the big product, and I've had to add an extra price for this specific variant, or maybe to go through a price list or whatever, but now it is directly on the variants. Also a brand new novelty, so we can see together that if I go with the Excel, this is 4,000, and if I change it's back to 3,500. And yeah, just like so, I was importing variants. Last thing we have made is, maybe I can find, I don't recall which one it was. Let me browse. Yeah, this one. I have a better way to manage my values directly from the product template. So I've made a typo here. I don't have to get in the attribute and change the value. I can just click here and just change the name as it would have been right, and then add an extra price or say that it's a free text, whatever. So yeah, that was the variants exciting news. Let's go over the microdata. Microdata, just to do a recap and to make it very simple, microdata is the information contained on an online page. Those information can have data that is structured so that the search engine, such as Google, can understand what is displayed as information. But let me show you, it's going to be easier for you. So if I go into my products, some of these information are important to show on the Google research results, such as the price or anything, and the price needs to be structured. It has been years and we are still doing it, but we are giving more and more structured data so that the search engine can read it better. It's good for browsing and for the click rates, but also it's good for the SEO authority that you have. But let me go on maybe like a research, let's say Nike shoes, and I'm showing you what is a structured data. And I can show you right here, maybe. They're not good with it, so maybe there is room for you to enter the market maybe. But there is here the structured data of the price for this product, and there is the structured data of the reviews, and so on and so on. The one we have added, if I go here, is exactly the breadcrumbs. So if I enter a bike here, I have these breadcrumbs, of course, and this breadcrumbs is now structured so that the search engine can see better the structure of my website thanks to the navigation tool that is the breadcrumbs, and also understand the hierarchy of the pages, such as the product pages would be more important than the children pages, let's say, such as the bike. To review and make sure you have structured data, what you can do is take the URL, go into schema.org, into validates, you can paste your URL, run the tests, and in several seconds it will show you all the structured data that is contained into the page. And we'll continue, of course, to add some more if we can. So microdata, let's move on to the forms. Let me go back into a big screen. There it is. And I'll go into the contact us. Into the contact us, you may see that I have several questions. I have question about the tags that I have. Why am I saying tags? Of course, a form can be linked with a the creation of a specific record. For instance, here I wanted, when the form is submitted, to create a customer, so that every question I ask, I can link it to a specific field from the contacts application, so the res.partner model. And here I've chosen to link this question to the tags. As you can see, right, yeah, there it is. Right here, it's the tags, and I have many tags. I'm sure you do as well, and it's a nightmare to use them. Should I erase some? It's quite difficult, but we have added 3 buttons. The first one is to synchronize with all the values. Second one is to maybe manage it and have this kind of table that I can exclude them all and just add the ones that I want. Maybe make some research, as I have, I don't know, 4,000 tags, different tags. I can say, okay, apparels. Yeah, sure, I'll find it and I can add it into the list. It's perfect, and I can save, and then this is well used. Or I can just add an option that I can look for, carbon. Perfect, that's the one that I want to add. So that's a good improvement for the forms. Second improvement we've made is now the requirements. So you can choose the type of answer you are willing to receive for a specific question, such as the phone number. I want the phone number to get the plus, as you may know. So I can now just go to the requirements, say that the answer must contain a plus, and then you can display a error message if it's not satisfied. And I just said, okay, it must contain this. So if I save, and I just, okay, this is my number. If I send message, this is not good because I don't have the plus. But here, if I do the plus, it will work, and everything works fine. Of course, based on the kind of the question, you will have different requirements, such as if you enter a, let's say, a date type question, you will have other requirements, such as a date after, before, equaling, between, or whatever. This is pretty handy when you have like a sort of a delivery method that you need to specify what are the times that you want people to choose, and so on and so on. There are good improvements coming up for these features as well. Okay, let's now go to one of the most required and asked feature for the last years as well. The price list and amount restriction on the payment provider. So you can now restrict a specific provider based on the amount of the basket or the price list of the person who's buying from your shop. So let me show you here. Sorry for this. Let's go, and I have one bike. That's wonderful. I can go to the checkout and I confirm. Yeah, of course, I have my demo that is suggested. But let's go into the demo provider and see how I have set it. So into the configuration, payment providers, into the demo. So you can see now that I can set a minimum amount of basket before being able to pay with demo, and also the maximum amounts. And also I have specified one of the price lists that I have. Of course, if I don't specify any, it will work for all of them. But now I just do the default one. So let's go back to my website and see how it works. So I'm between 5,000 and 6,000. It should work, but if I go up and go to the checkouts, I don't have any payments. By the way, this is a message because I'm being logged as a internal users. Of course, your visitor, online visitor, won't see that. They only see that no payment method is available. So let's now going back to this and change back to 5,800. And before making another test, let me go back to my own contacts. I think it's this one because I created another one with the form. And I just change it into the other price list. Okay, let me just erase the one that I created earlier. Perfect. And into my website, if I now go to my cards, checkout, and confirm, I can see that I don't have the possibility to do this. Now, those two features are really important for many use cases. The amount one is important because based on the average basket of your clients, you can now restrict one payment from another. Let me explain it a bit. You sell either very low price products, so the basket might be €5, let's say. You don't want a payment provider to take a fee on this. You already don't earn that much. So you might want to say, okay, for Stripe, for instance, the minimum amount of order is €100, for instance. The other way around, of course, is feasible because you have the other field that is the maximum amount. Okay, so if you have wire transfer that you want to prefer for under €100, you say that the maximum amount is €100. And if someone purchases a €98 basket, it's going to be wire transfer, no choices. If it's above 100, it's Stripe with card bank for sure, and the visitor doesn't have the choices. So you can have more retribution for the same baskets. Now, another feature, so that the price list restriction is really important for many use cases. One of them is the B2B markets. If you have the same website for B2B and B2C, we know that B2B always or often pay with wire transfers, but you don't want the B2C customer to pay with wire transfers because it makes way more management afterwards, making sure that you receive the money before sending the products. So it's a nightmare. So what you can do is say, okay, my B2C customer gets a price list that is restricted for the only the Stripe methods, and my B2C only for the wire transfer ones. So it becomes easier to have the same website for the B2B and B2C, which helps you working a bit less, of course, for not maintaining two websites. So yeah, that's very exciting. Next one is the standalone categories. Basically what it is that you can prevent a e-commerce category to be displayed on your website. So here I have 3 of them. I have the sales one because in July and in January I have sales, but for now we're not in those periods, so I just click the not in shop. So what it did is that if I go to my website into the shop section, I see all my categories and I don't see the sales one, which is a good thing. And when it gets to July or a bit earlier, doesn't matter, it's you choosing. I can just uncheck this, go to the section, and I will be seeing my categories. It is interesting because my sales will come back every 6 months. I've made a wonderful description about it, so it means that I have a good SEO ranking, and I don't want to delete my category every time I close my sales because I will have to restart the SEO efforts all over again. So I just can delete it from the website, keep my SEO intact, and just set it back on when I need it. So yeah, standalone categories. And then 2 other improvements. Of course, I won't be giving you all the list of the improvement that we've made. It's so vast, but the one that I really liked, which I thought was misleading previously for many of you, is the content of it. So I have my pages that you may know, but I also have pages that are hidden. So if I go now to the site and go to the system pages, you can now see all these pages. For instance, is the /shop. So if you have deleted the menu section that directs to the /shop, how do I get there without knowing that it's actually /shop URL, and I can put it in the URL? I can just go back here, click here, and I will go into the specific page. I have lots of them. The one that I can log in, the one I can reset my password. Once again, the idea here would be maybe to add content to make it more beautiful. I don't know if that's more beautiful, but I have to have like a designer to help me on this. But anyways, the point here is to make your websites differentiated from one another. So yeah, that's one of the 2 improvements. The last one would be, yeah, that was really great. Let me go to the contact one. As you can see, I have a breadcrumb. That's new. Usually the contact page is not, the child of the home one. But I was able to add it. If I go to the site properties, you can either do it from here or open all the properties. But here, I can choose what page is the point one, which is great for helping my visitor to go back to the home. We're okay, but also for the SEO. So as I said, for the breadcrumbs in the microdata still stands. Here I have a hierarchy of pages which helps the robots from the Google and the research engine to know what page is more important from one another and maybe to adapt the SEO authority based on this. And also, as I said, it gives more clarity about navigating my website. So thank you for your attention. Of course, we will be doing a question and answer session right after, and I will be seeing you. Thank you. Hello, welcome back to the Q&A session. We'll be seeing the question. I have one from Ladoulaye Bricot. So let me open up here. So the question is it possible to create a pop-up to new subscribers of newsletters or to announce promotion? Of course, we have pop-up snippet, I would say. And those snippet, if I'm not mistaken, maybe this one isn't, I will see, can have a visibility constraint saying that if you are logged into your website, you don't show it because it obviously, maybe it is already a subscriber. And if not, I will make it visible. But let me just choose the page. Yeah, this one is great. The landing is the one that I want. I just put a snippet here. I will make a quick research of a pop-up. Yeah, I have this one that is a regular pop-up, but I can also have the newsletter one. And I think for your use case is the one that you would like because you want the visitors to subscribe to a newsletter. Okay, so it's downloading the module. Now this touches the marketing part of it, and I think I need to put it back. Yes, this one, yeah. And the idea here would be just like any forms, I can choose here which newsletter I can link to. And a newsletter is nothing but a list of, in French it's liste de diffusion, but in marketing it would be the mailing list. Okay, I only have one, but if I create one, I want to make a newsletter for, I don't know, sports newsletter. Yep. There it is. I just have to create it. And if I go back to my website, edits. Oh, I cannot see my pop-up. Yes, I can. You go there and check the invisibility. Click here. And I can now choose the other mailing list that I can add. And there you can choose whatever layout you want. It's still some blocks, of course. So yeah, you can. And obviously you can choose if you make it on other pages. You can choose the time, yeah, exactly, the time needed for the pop-up to arise. If it will arise again if someone click on no, and all those settings. But I invite you to go and see that. So let's take another question. So we have a question about Mika Haripersad, I guess. Is it possible to make a complete online store with only the website and e-commerce module? So this is free module, so should be completely free. Yeah, I think I understood the question. The question is, can I be in one app free, so not paying for Odoo and having an e-commerce? The answer is yes. The only thing you have to do is when you create a database from odoo.com and go to free trial, but I'm in English, but in French, but same button. You only select e-commerce. That way you are in a one app free, as you can see it here, and you won't be charged. Now, if you download another module, you will start to pay, but I must say you don't pay per application or module. You only pay if you have more than one. Doesn't matter how many you have. So another question from Edward, will this video remain on YouTube? Of course it will, so you can find, and you have all the other ones that you can go back and see, all the What's News, all the Odoo Experience one, all the materials we do. And I can also invite you, if you're a new user, to go into odoo.com/slides, and you can find all the modules from there. But on YouTube we also have all the previous video. How often are the Odoo lives? As I work in the same building, I can see, I don't know, twice, 3 times, 4 times a week. That's, yeah, it's all the time. Is it possible to make the image zoomable? Yes, it is. On the variant, sorry. On the product it is. I'm not sure to fully understand, because if I add it onto the products, it should be doable for the variant as well. But let's say, let's go to the products. It's it's a man one, but let's say it's different for women. So I just want to change the image. I go into the variant and change it for, I don't know, let's say it's this one. And if I go back now onto the product page, I just need to make sure that a specific, where is it? Zoom auto click, it's on. So normally, if I switch to woman, I have this other, and I can click and I can zoom in. So the answer is yes. Next questions from VIP Odoo Consulting. Is it possible to make a product available only by a link and not have a centralized store? I am not sure to have fully understood this question. So can I prevent someone from entering a product and purchasing it? Maybe that's the question. If that's so, this could be your help. So let me go back here. I have two configurations that I can set. First off, I can prevent the shop to be visible for the people that are not logged in here. So all users can see it. Of course, if I click here, only the logged in one will be entering the e-commerce shop. And I can, multiply this with another setting that is very important that matter. Let me go and see where it is. Yeah, there it is. The customer account, I can choose if it's a free sign up, so everyone can create an account, or if it's only me that gives the possibility to create an account. So in those ways, in those two configurations, I'm sure that the people that I don't want on my shop will not see it. There's another way to prevent someone from purchasing a product, if that's a question. Anyways, that's interesting to show it to you. I have this button that is hide add to cart. So if I click here, every product that is a zero price product won't be addable to the carts. Previously, the name of this configuration was prevent sales from zero price products that you may know. There is a new improvement in that matter. I think it was 19, but maybe it's later. You can now set that it's not for zero price product, but it's for specific categories. Okay, because some categories you do not want it to be purchasable. Okay. If purchasable is a word, of course. Now, okay. So we have a new question about Alexei and Roshenko. You mentioned one site for B2C and B2B. Right now in Spanish localization, we have a VAT field on checkout page marked required all the time. Is it somehow connected to e-commerce module configuration? That's a good question. You might have the same website. Now you can change a bit the flow on how to tackle this. The first one would be, I don't remember if in this version we have changed this, but previously what I did, so if the address form question doesn't satisfy you, meaning that there is a field that is not required where it should be, what we did is we turned on the extra step, let me find for, it's not named extra step anymore. What is it? Huh. It has disappeared for this this version. Automatic invoice. I can't find it. Maybe if I do step. No, additional. That's weird. Or maybe it's by default put. Let me go and see, because I have another way to access it. If I go to the basket, normally if I go to the edit one, there it is. I can turn on the extra step, so I can access it from there, and you can see that there is a new extra info page, which is right after the address one that I already put, and there I have a form, and this form I can totally change it, and yeah, so I can also anyways link it to a specific field that is located into my sale order to make sure that the information is complete. So it has been handy for maybe VAT information, also for previously, but stay tuned, because in the new version we'll have a fix. Not a fix, a new feature for this, but so far we use this form so that my clients can choose the delivery dates or the delivery hours or other information needed for the delivery. Do you know, so we have a new question. Clément François, do you know if the prices that Google takes for ads or product snippet will be VAT included or still without VAT? I don't think there has been a change on this, to be frank. I cannot tell you from there. I have to test it on several cases. We have a new question about AI, of course. It's a hot topic. Any chance from Levi Bulligan, sorry if I'm misspelling your name. Any chance to have a chat bot powered by AI that will allow suggest items and take orders via regular language? So the first part of it, which is suggested items, yes, it's already into place. You can go ahead and see a NoXP talk about this matter, about smart e-commerce pages. Maybe we'll have the link into the chatter. So the idea here is that we now have with the AI the possibility to make automations and educated automations. The use case we've had was we were selling bike as well, and that I want the specific fields. So we have native fields for this matter. If I go into the products, let's say this one, e-commerce, or it hasn't been there. It's still in the sales. Yeah, it's in the sales because I might use it for quotes. It's not only e-commerce specification, but the optional product would be, I don't know, do I have a helmet? No, I don't, but I can look for product category, not this one, but the e-commerce one. There it is. And maybe I want to suggest a jacket here. So if I go there, if I add it, oh, yeah, I have this suggested one. It's not available. I don't have into my inventory, but anyways, you get the point. Now, as I said, we can have AI automations. So what we did is that it's just like Studio once. So I can try it, of course, into the automation. I don't know if I have the AI installed here, but we'll see. Optional. And then the trigger would be on the after creation, but I have a cheat code for you guys. If you have create and edit and you select the ID field here, your automation will be done right away. If you do on creation, it will be put on the line of and then we have a cron, a robot that will go through the database and trigger all the action that is in the line. Now, if you do this, the action will be triggered when we update the field that is the ID. Now, the ID is updated once at the creation. It's never re-editing. If it is, then you might create a black hole or anything. But anyways, this will be triggered. And I can say, okay, set optional, update records, and I will be using the AI one. And I know that I want to change the optional one. And I can say the prompt here will be if you understand that the product is a bike, then assign. Here I can choose a record selector and say, okay, I want the vest to be assigned. Okay, and now I can go here and say Grand Canyon 6L, and I just save. I hope this will work because the prompt is such a very low quality prompt. So it hasn't worked, but let me fine tune it. We'll be having very dedicated videos about AI very soon, but if you understand. So I would say more based on the, and then I'm going to check a field selector based on the name of the record. Based on the name, browse the web, and if you understand that the product is a bike, then assign this. And maybe this will work in that matter. This is about prompting. So here, new. Yeah, still not. I have to check it, but it previously worked. I have to fix my prompt. So that's the live problems, let's say. But what you need to know is that you can prompt more better information about the rules you want to apply, saying, okay, if it's a dirt bike, let's say, I want maybe dirt tires to be assigned on optional. Of course it works, I can assure you. And into the video you will see it. So let's take another question. How do I make an e-commerce site that incorporates a prepaid booking system? That is J5000 that asks this. How do I make an e-commerce site that incorporates a prepaid booking system? So a prepaid booking system, well, if I understand correctly, I have to pay to book it. So to me, it's regular configuration where everyone pays at the checkouts. So if it's not, maybe you can specify the question. I have a new, Ladulay Iberico says, back from the original question that was, let me get back to it. Is it possible to create a pop-up? Yeah, that was the question. And he told me, he asked, can I choose my own design? I think, yeah, of course. As I mentioned, the pop-up is just a block, so I can just erase everything. I will get this idea and this idea and this idea, so you can change the design, of course. Yeah. Oh, it has another comments. Can I use a JPEG to show up as a pop-up to show the info that I want? Okay, I understand it better. So you will have this block anyways, because it's the one that will be visible. And this block you can make a background, of course. Background with an image, or maybe with, this one. And you can change, of course you can put your JPEG and it will be easier to read, and this one should be in, I don't know, this one. It's ugly, I know. Anyways, yeah, you can change the background just like any other blocks. So J5000 said, how do I make an e-commerce site to incorporate a pre-booking system for booking calendar? So the booking and the calendar, you can use the appointment app or the event app. Both can have a payable or like a priced fixed ticket. So yep, pretty native. No worries about this, I think. Next question. Yeah, VIP Odoo. I would like to invite the customers to be able to buy. Not everyone can be customers. So it's exactly what I said. You can choose the configuration that I said as, and I will just comment it a bit. Of course, the main configuration you want is the on invitation parameter. And I will show you how to invite, of course, someone. But in that case, if I go to the login page, I cannot create one. This is the first one you want. Then you have two choices. You can also say, okay, to checkout, what is the possibilities? Yeah, the possibility is to have a sign up or a sign in mandatory. So you have to have an account to check out, and if you couple it with this, well, they won't be able to create one, so you will have to they will have to ask you for creating one. And in that case, we have seen in 18.3, if I remember correctly, let me save, that what I would do is get into the specific pages that I told you about right before, saying that on the login one, instead of having this ugly block, what I would do is to create a form. And this form would create not an email, or maybe you can receive an email, or you can create a customer. And what you can do also, which is a cool trick shot I can show you so that I don't have work to do anymore, I add a new field. The field is the tag. Let me find it. And into the tag, let me just exclude them all. And maybe I have like an account one. No. I would create a tag. Let's say it's this one, doesn't matter which one. And what I would do is say, okay, I'm gonna add a visibility constraints on this question. That is, it's never visible, it's hidden. And by default, this one is checked. Why do I do this? Because every time someone will submit it, a customer will be created with this very tag, and I can every day filter out on this specific value so that I know that I have to give the access. And let's say, okay, John Doe wants this access. Let me buy. Okay, submits. And if I go to the contacts, let me show you how to give him. And of course, it has the, it's the road cycling that I chose. No, it's the John Doe, sorry. So it's the 281, and I can just filter out 281 tags, and boom, I have all the people. And from there, what I would do regularly, I check the information. Maybe I assign a different price list, whatever you have to. And then from the gear button, I can grant portal access, and JJ will receive an email asking him to create an account, setting the password, and so on and so on. So yeah, that's the whole flow. And there is a nice, also a nice automation you can do about whenever someone has this tag, then it creates an activity so that you're informed when someone has submitted the form, so that you don't have to see every day if someone has done it, and you are just notified when he has. Performance on the net. Is it possible to create a button for downloadable content? Say I want to download button for application guide for B2B customers. There are two ways to do it. First way would be, if I go to a product, let's say this one, I can assign a document. Sorry, I was going fast. I can assign a document from the smart button. And let's say this document is our beloved Odoo implementation methodology. I publish on the website, which means now that if I go to the product page, I have this as a download button. I have another way to do it. This other way is by adding the e-commerce description. The e-commerce description, if my browser is okay with me, is all the things that you can see here. And this field is an HTML field, which means that it allows you to add layouts and specific values. Let me just maybe refresh. Yeah, there it is. And every time you have an HTML field, you have many things you can do by hitting the slash. You can add headings, you can add many things. You can even use, so you have charts, you have cards, many new things. You have AI, so you can ask the AI to create the e-commerce description. Of course, you can automate it with an automation. And here you can upload a file. And I'm going to add this one. Now, so 2 ways to do it. Last thing that you might want is to restrict the visibility of the document based on the fact that your visitor is logged in or not logged in. I've had this case with the clients. So what I did is, it's HTML, so I can enter a block. So let's say, not an image one, but let's say a content one. Let's say this one. Let me just erase this one. Sorry. Here. Okay, it doesn't matter how I want it. Let me just hit media, taking back my documents. And what is great is that this block, such as any other block, I can add a constraint on the visibility. So I can say, okay, it's not visible for the logged out people. So here, I can still, it's not visible for the logged out, so it's the other way around. It's not visible for, yeah, that should be, no, visible for the logged in, sorry. So I can still see it, of course, but if I hit my page on an incognito, oh no, I have this other, sorry. I have this other, no, it's not this one, it's this one. So yeah, that should work. Up. Yeah, I cannot see it, so it's another neat way to do it. By the way, the first feature that I showed you, so from the smart button, that helps you getting this, also this this document to your quotes or confirm order if you use this application as well. That's pretty cool as well. So another question. So Robert said, I understand that it is possible, but if you have a man as the image and a woman as the image, when you hover the mouse over the man, that a larger version is displayed, not that the photo changes. Okay, I get you. So into the product, I have to make some tests because I'm not sure about it. Let's go into the buy now. So yeah, that's the idea, that when I go over here, it doesn't show the other bike, but more zooming this. And we will see. So into here, hover effects, zoom in. And I just erase the secondary image, I believe. So this is a zoomed in, yeah. So that should work. By the way, it's on the product here. This section, this has been changed for Odoo 19. To make it clear, we have added this menu that will slide so that it doesn't cluster your view from the other settings. Pretty easy to use now. Good question. I have a question from Steglobal. I want to protect page content. Is it possible to force a visitor to complete a form or newsletter before they can access a page? We can set a visibility constraints on a page based on, I don't know, like a code, for instance. I will show you. Like the very specific has to complete a form. I don't know how to put it. I think there is a solution, but that would require me to make a bunch of tests. But what I can show you so you can start your testings is to say, okay, if I go to my site, I have properties. I can enter the product one, the page one, sorry. And visibility can say, okay, public, signed in, restricted, and with a password or a specific group. So with the password, up, and then you have the password. I don't know where it is. Yeah. What? That's weird. I think that's a bug. It should be fixed very soon, but you have another field to specify your password. So maybe that's in your flow of, okay, if you succeed on the form, then you receive the specific email or whatever. We should think about it, but you can definitely set visibility constraints based on other things than just the login one. The next question is, tick, Mr. Thinikitos, how is AI integrated into Odoo e-commerce? Many ways to do it. Please go find this video. So it's about marketing and e-commerce. Maybe we'll have it on the chat if it's not, but you can find it on our YouTube channel, because we've made with another colleague, we have linked all the features we had at the time at the 19 that are usable somehow on the e-commerce. The possibilities are like too big to state, but you definitely have the information. Yeah, how can it be done? So you can translate with the AI, you can add and build content with the AI, asking to the copywriting, let's say. You have the possibility to go on the optimize SEO and have your meta title or your meta description done for you, and a bunch of other things such as, do we have H1, H2, SEO type of things. You can create an agent and display this agent. So I've had one for a beer selling website that was for a demo, but anyways, and we created an agent that gives consoles on cocktails made out beers. So yeah, various. For the bicycle, we made an agent that is giving lots of information to the visitor, because choosing a bike is not really easy, and you need consoles, you need advice, and this agent can provide bikes. And it is, to me, really important, because we have entered a new era where it doesn't matter if you're online or not online, but you can still give advice to your visitors, which is really important, especially because online bike selling is very competitive. I can take like a last question maybe. That one. Okay, attribute. Let's take something that will help everyone. Made professional. Let's take here a last question from. I'm choosing something that will speak for everyone. So, Tina Gandon, is it possible to make an attribute clickable doing website for publisher and would like to author the name to be clickable? Ideally shown below the title. I tried with Studio, but it doesn't work. Okay, that's a cool use case I've never handled personally. So if I understand correctly, let's take another one. This one. You want this to be, to be clickable and to direct for another. To direct to another website. Personally, I would. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. Depending on the number of variants that you would get from a product templates, you might want to put it into the, as I said, to the description, which is a layout. So what I can do is also add a button and say, okay, the artist, if I understood correctly, is .com, apply, and so on. And you can click here and be directed. So I will have to think about it. I have. Just right before we leave, I have another comment for a question. Yeah, so Sebastian Fincher said, this is especially annoying for pages that should be responsive. I'm not sure it was for this question, but I think I've seen a comment that was for a previous question. Let me go back. Before the intro. Yeah, I think we'll be good for today with the questions, and I will be glad to see you on another video about the new novelties into Odoo 19.34 if there is one. Bye bye.